Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is what messages your spirit guides have for you. Before I get into the video, I do want to say my voice is a little bit croaky and a little bit gone, to be honest with you. Basically, you can skip this part if you want. I'm just giving you an explanation as to why my voice is croaky. We don't have aircon a lot in the UK, and I've never really experienced it. But I was in a hotel over the weekend, and my friend put the aircon on, and it's completely destroyed my chest really bad. And there's been a lot of like so my voice is like croaky, so if you hear my voice going that way, my voice may be a little bit quieter. It's because of that. I should be fine in a couple of days because I'm back home now, but that's happening with my throat, so I wanted to get that out in case anyone thought I was sick or putting on a voice or anything like that. But yeah, we're just doing messages from the spirit guides today. I just wanted to keep it simple for today because this is my first day getting back into it, so I wanted to like slowly get back into it with like a normal just guidance reading. So yeah, we're taking a look at what messages your spirit guides have. So pile number 1, we have the green calcite. Pile number 2, we have the blue calcite. And pile number 3, we have the black tourmaline. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual. And I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your spirit guides have for you. So you guys chose the green calcite. I'm going to place this in the corner and we are going to get straight in. Now as I was tapping into your energy, guys, I was really being taken to your inner child and I kept hearing be kind, be kind, be kind. I'm not sure why that came through. We'll see while we get when we get in with the cards and stuff, but I just kept being shown you like stood down and putting your hand out to your inner child, and I just kept hearing it like be kind, and I just kept hearing the word like self-soothing as well, self-soothing. Yeah, that's what I kept hearing. I'm gonna get in and see what that's about and open up more, but that's something that I was picking up straight away. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s, please? Tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. What's a pile number 1 spirit guides want my pile number 1s to hear right now? Okay, we have air. I'm going to lay the cards first and then I'll continue to channel for you. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What guidance do my pile number 1s need to hear? We have feminine energy. Did you have a rocky relationship with your mother, pile 1, or did you not really receive a lot of nurturing growing up, or a lot of emotional sensitivity, or a chance to like explore your own emotions? Because there's almost a feeling of like a neglect of your own emotions that you learned as a child. Like, I'm gonna neglect my emotions and what I'm feeling. I'm maybe not even being able to process your own emotions, one, because maybe there was a lot of chaos in your childhood, or maybe there was an essence of you self-sacrificing in childhood for a parent or for siblings, because there's a feeling of you not knowing or understanding your own emotions and your own how to really nurture yourself and tap into your own inner divine mother and take the emotional, the self-soothing and the emotional, how do I put this into words? It's like your inner divine mother is coming through to create a safe space for you to fully nurture yourself and be open with your emotions and to hold space with your emotions. But there's almost this essence of not knowing how to receive it, and I feel like you're stepping into a time where you're learning how to it's like reparent yourself, but re-nurture your inner child in the sense of getting to know your own emotions, getting to know your own love languages, getting to know your own sensitivities and feelings. I feel like you've always had to be the mother, you've always had to be the nurturer, but you've never been mothered or nurtured, and now you're learning to actually receive it instead of being the doer all the time. And that's something that I feel like you may struggle with, and I'm being told the reason it's coming up now, pile number 1, is because very similar to the post that I put up earlier today. Hopefully this video gets up tonight, so you would have seen the post earlier today, but there was one particular post where it was like one particular pile, sorry, where it was like you have there was this energy coming through, like I've taken other people's projections off me, where other people were tugging at my energy and pulling at my energy. I've taken that away. I've stopped self-sacrificing for people. I've learned that, and I've learned that I have my own boundaries. However, now I'm in my own energy and I'm not taking other people's projections, and now I'm sat here in this feeling, and I almost feel like a stranger in my own home, a stranger to myself. I don't know what I want. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I like, because everybody's projections have gone now, and I know my worth, and I know that I'm not taking on other people's perception of me or other people's pains. But now it's like, okay, so how do I really nurture myself now? How do I self-soothe myself? How do I get to grips on really processing emotions, and how do I do that? Because I don't think you learn to do it as a child, and you're learning to do it now, and really learning to take that in. You've like mastered the Divine Mother within yourself, mastered the Divine Father within yourself, but receiving both those energies pouring into yourself, it's like, it's almost foreign, and I think it may be a little bit triggering for you, and that's something that's coming up right now. And I think that's why they were saying self-soothe and be kind. I keep hearing be kind, be kind, be kind, because maybe you've taught to like not speak to yourself very nicely. I do feel like you guys are perfectionists, and I feel like you guys do so much work on yourself, and I feel like you guys put so much weight on yourself, because maybe you learn to like overachieve, or you learn to put your like accomplishments, maybe you were taught that your accomplishment determine your worthiness, whereas just being you, breathing alive today, is you being worthy. Like, you didn't have to achieve something so big to get a pat on the back. Like, just you being here deserves a pat on the back. Like, there's this essence of that. Like, I haven't done enough to really sit back and receive luxuries. I haven't done enough to really receive nurturing. I haven't done enough to receive sympathy. Like, I've always got to be hard. Like, I can't sit back and feel bad for myself, or I can't sit back and really care for myself like that, because duty calls. Whereas it's like, you're coming into a time where you're learning to have the child treatment, and I don't even know what to call it. It's time for you to embody your inner child and receive what maybe you didn't get to receive in childhood, because you have it all within you to give to you. And it's like, you can give, but receiving, it's the hard part for you. Maybe you've had to be in your masculine energy a lot, and you're being called back into your feminine energy, to be a little bit more passive, to be on the receiving end, to surrender, to just dance. Like, there's an essence of that coming through. I'll lay the rest of the cards, and then I'll continue. I see that as your card like leaps over my yeah, we have empowerment. It's like you'll climb up a mountain, and then you'll be like, okay, where's the other mountain? And like, no matter how many mountains you reach, it's like, it's not filling the void, because the void isn't going to be filled with that. No matter how much you achieve, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like, I'm chasing all these mountains to get, like, feel a pat on the back, or feel a sense of worthiness, whereas the person who's going to give that worthiness to you is you, and you've only got to look in the mirror and give that permission to yourself. Like, there's an essence of that coming through. Like, I keep seeing someone looking at themselves in the mirror, but it's like their inner child, and then just like hugging their inner child. Like, I think as well, like, you don't hear a lot, like, I'm proud of you. I think that you don't hear, you know, when you're doing the self-love journey, it does get lonely, and, you know, you don't hear yourself say to yourself, wow, I'm grateful for all the work you've done, so we don't have to deal with the BS we used to. And I feel like you don't hear it, and I just feel like just a little love letter to your younger self, or a particular version of yourself that stands out, would really, really be healing for you. And if you guys don't really connect with like writing letters, just saying it out loud, looking in the mirror, or just saying it out loud, just to give that gratitude to yourself, because I feel like you've worked so hard on yourself for you, but there's no like, it's almost like you do it, but then instead of just like basking in your winnings, basking in like, wow, I woke up today and I felt good today, it's just like, okay, well, I need to be doing this or that. Or I woke up today and I've just reached this milestone. It's like, okay, well, let's reach another milestone. It's not like, wow, I really need to like treat myself. I really need to just bask in this for a minute. It's like, it's almost like you don't want to enjoy it because it's not enough. You need to get more because it's still ingrained in your brain. And there's this essence of like looking back at all the mountains you've climbed and being like, oh my God, I did that, I did that, I did that. Spiritually, I did this. Mentally, I did this. Internally, I did this. Physically, I did this. Like, material-wise, I did this. Like, I feel like there's so many accomplishments you've done, and Spirit's like, you're still, like, running in a race and going, right, I need to do this, and Spirit's like, yes, that's great, the ambition is great, however, stop for 2 seconds, look behind you and look at everything you've just done. Look at the past 5 years, look at the past 3 years, look at the last year, look at just this year, look at how much you've accomplished and how much you've done. Understand the weight of that and give yourself that gratitude, because I just feel like there's this feeling of like the love you give out, you don't feel like you receive it, because sometimes you don't put yourself in that energy of receiving, because in childhood you never learned to have to receive it, you learned to be the giver. But that's switching, and Spirit wants you to really like focus on your own emotions, focus on your own pleasures, your sensuality. And when I say pleasures, I don't just mean in like a sexual way, I mean just like pleasures in like food, pleasures in like, you know, what do you enjoy? Like, I just feel like sometimes you don't allow yourself to like enjoy too much, because it's like, I'm hearing Iggy Azalea song Work, like you just feel like you've got to keep working and walking mile after mile. I'm hearing Dolly Parton's Working 9 to 5, you know when she sings oh my God, why would the lyric even go to my head? Stumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, I think that's the lyrics. Pour myself a cup of ambition. It's like every day is like that. Whereas like Spirit wants you to like have a bit of a fiesta, you know what I mean? And apparently, like, I'm being told there's like a little cake you used to like in your childhood. It's only going to resonate for 1 or 2 people. I'm being shown a little cake that you used to like, and I'm being told for you to get it for yourself. There's like a grandmother coming through saying for you to get it for yourself. I don't know what it would be, because they're not really giving me a name, and it would be different for all of you. And it doesn't have to be cake, it could be that they're just referencing sweet treats, but there's just an essence of something you used to like in your childhood. Like, I'm being called for you to like not only connect with your inner childhood, but your own pleasures, because you deserve like to have fun. I keep seeing you like go to have fun or do something fun, and then you're like, oh my God, I've just come off my grind. It's like, no, you just like enjoyed yourself. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? You may give yourself a day off because like maybe you want to give like yourself a pampering session, and then you're almost like bullying yourself then, like, no, I shouldn't have done that, I'm off my grind. It's like, that's what life's for, it's to have fun too. And I feel like sometimes you forget that because you've had to be on the go, and they're saying that's great, that's like beautiful, but you do deserve pleasure and fun time too. And there's something about emotions coming through as I go deeper into that energy of like not knowing how to process your emotions fully because you weren't allowed to. So it's like, even in social situations, maybe you'll be around a lot of friends, or maybe in work, or like with new people, it's like sometimes you may forget or not understand how to deal with certain emotions, because it's like you never had chance to growing up. And I'm being told that you guys are quite empathic, so I feel like growing up you take on emotions of other people, and I'm being taken to childhood, so I'm going to say children. So like you'd go to school, take on energies and emotions of children, not know how to process it, so you just like bury it down and not deal with it, which was like your empathic nature. And then I feel like you'd bury it down, and I feel like where you're at now, it's like you'll take on other people's like projections of you, take on other people's like feelings, and then it's like you don't know how to process those energies. And I feel like now that you're stepping into that energy where you're not taking on people's projections, it's like you're learning and learning to understand, okay, how does this person make me feel, and what does this emotion mean? What does this person make me feel, and what does this emotion mean? How does that person make me feel? What should my boundary be here? Like, you're learning now how to do that and how you feel towards other people, because I feel like in childhood you never dealt with that. It was more so people were projecting, and you were like, okay, well, this is my reality because someone projected it onto me, instead of like, actually, I don't like this person, I would like to stay away from them, or this person overstepped the boundary and I'm going to tell them. You didn't process that in childhood, I'm being told, and you're learning to do that now. I hope that's not too confusing. If that was confusing, comment down below and I'll check the comments and I'll elaborate a little bit. But what I'm trying to say is, I feel like you were just projected a lot onto to the point that your own reality was almost distorted because you're very empathic. And now that you've started removing people's projections, it's like these feelings are coming up now of maybe, I don't like that person, or that person isn't someone I want to be around, and it's difficult for you to process it because they're new feelings. And it's not you being critical or judgmental, it's you and your brain going, like a normal thing of you guys going, I don't think I like that, I don't think I like this, I don't think I like that, because now you're getting to grips with your own needs and wants. So it's new for you, and it's not you being bitchy, it's just like, you know what, I didn't really like this, so you know, I'm going to stay away from this, or I didn't like appreciate when they said that, so if they say it next time, I'm going to put that down, or I don't like that side of that person. It's not you being judgy, it's you finally like realizing those emotions. I hope I didn't confuse anyone, but that's something that's coming through as I go deeper into the essence of you learning more about yourself. Oh god, hang on, I just like flipped cards over. We also have water. You may be my water pile, because I feel like you've always been very clairsentient, empathic. So from young, you've taken on other people's energies, but it's taken you a while to like understand, this is my feeling, this is somebody else's. And now that you're having your own feelings, it's like, it's hard for you to process them right now, because it's your first time being in your own energy of like, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. We have worthiness as well. And then the back of the deck, what do we have? We have fire. Let me make sure that's staying focused, because sometimes it unfocuses and it stays blurry for the whole reading. Yeah, and I feel like there's so much going on in your energy right now, because I feel like you are entering a very new phase, and it's not even a case of like things are falling away. It's like, no, everything that needed to fall away has fallen away, and I feel like you really are in your power. But it's like, now that you're in your power, you now have time without the influence of other people to like open the doorways to like your soul and be like, oh, this is a part of me, oh my god, this is a part of me, this is a part, and you're learning more about yourself. And I think this time right now is very much about you. And I'm being taught, how do I explain it? I just feel like going on a little bit of an adventure right now, and allowing yourself to be very fluid right now, and any emotions and feelings that come up, allow yourself to process them, tend to them. I keep being told when there's this feeling of like pleasure and then guilt in yourself for pleasure. I shouldn't be doing this because it's taking me off my grind. I shouldn't be doing this because it's taking me out of my energy. I shouldn't be doing this. Or even wanting to see like certain friends and being like, right, I shouldn't be around these friends right now because I need to be on my own. Like there's this energy of like listening to what your inner child wants right now. And then I'm being told when these, how do I explain it? No, I feel like your inner child, excuse me a minute while I get like hold of this energy, because I have a little bit of like a brain fog coming through, but there's just this energy of the inner child like leading you right now. And when you're around people and you feel a certain feeling, allow yourself to process it, because I just feel like right now your inner child is teaching you how to process these feelings that you didn't process in childhood of your own wants, needs and desires. I hope it's not too confusing for you, but that's what's coming through. Because I feel like you're getting to grips with who you are and what you stand for. So your inner child is maybe putting you in situations where maybe you do feel a little bit uncomfortable, and then these feelings are coming up, and then you're thinking, wait, I didn't like that, I didn't like the way this person talked. And then you're thinking, oh wait, am I going backwards? I feel like I'm being bitchy. You're not being bitchy, it's just these energies are coming through, and you're finally processing them for the first time without, you know, the perception being projected onto you. And I feel like your inner child is very much so leading that, so you can get a better sense of self, because I feel like you do act as a mirror a lot in public, pile number one, and a lot around people, like even family members, because you are such like an empath. You are very clairsentient, you mirror a lot of energies, and I just feel like a lot of people will act in certain ways in regards to that, because when you're a mirror, some people don't like the form of their essence, so it's like they may then project, or they may throw shade on your light, and it's like you're so hyper aware of that because you are so empathic, you are very intuitive like that it's like, okay, well that person has like a weird energy to me, I'm gonna like step away from that person, and that person makes me feel this type of way, I'm gonna step away from that person, or I'm gonna say this to this person. It's like there's this new essence of your personality coming through now that you're finally coming to grips with your own opinions and thoughts, if that makes sense. Pile number one, like it all coincides together, but there's like a deeper level to it, and then like I wouldn't say a shallow like level to it, but a more open side to it. Do you know what I mean? Pile number one, messages from their spirit guides right now, please, spirit guides. Pile number one, we have light. I love how she's bathing in water too. Yeah, I feel like in childhood you weren't allowed to have many opinions and thoughts of your own. It might have just been the fact that you never were able to form them because you were very focused on being what other people needed you to be because of childhood, which wasn't your fault. It was just the way, you know, your childhood went. I feel like you may have had like, you may have even either had like a narcissistic parent, or you may have been like a parentified child where you had to think of other people. And I just feel like you've always taken on like a lot of emotions and things from other people, but in your earlier life it was very discombobulated, so you'd get influenced a lot easier, or people were able to take advantage a lot easier, and I'm being told that that's not the case because of the amount of work you've done. But now you're like, okay, well, who am I then? What are my feelings then? What does pleasure me then? And then I feel like old ways are coming up then, like, no, we can't pleasure ourselves, we can't do this and that because it's not good for us, but it is. We have run with the wolves. Love that card. That card's never come out before. I feel like as well you've always been a bit of a lone wolf, or you've had to learn to be a lone wolf because other people's energy was like draining you because you take on so much from people. And I just feel like you took that on as your role until you realize, like, wait a minute, this isn't right. I don't feel like I need to go too far down that spiral, because I feel like for you to be here, you've already worked on balancing those energies out of self-sacrificing. We have offerings. And I'll lay one more card down. Pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. Message from the Spirit Guides. We have Thunderstorm. On the back of the deck, we have Rise. So you've alchemized, and this is why you're in this energy, because you're one step closer to your truth. And you very much are in your own energy now, where you're not getting swayed by other people. You're just learning what works for you right now. You may even find there may be like a shift in your friend group or certain people you have around you. You might be like, you know what, I don't think I want to be around this person anymore, or I think maybe I need to create a little bit of a distance. Or you may even find like other people, you may want to be around them a lot more. It could even be that your whole idea of like what you'd want in a relationship and friendship is changing now that you're getting to know who you are. You may find that it changes over the next couple of months. Matter of weeks though, to be honest with you, because I'm hearing that you learn lessons and you settle into energies very well and very quickly, I'm being told. So it would be more so weeks than months, to be honest with you. So yeah, I feel like you're waking up to your own light. What was I saying about the wolves? And it was like, she ran with wolves. Oh my god, what was the quote? If you know the quote, comment it down in the comment section. It's like, she ran with wolves, for the wolves knew that no, she ran, oh my god, I can't even remember. She ran with wolves. If you type that in on Google, it'll probably come up. She ran with wolves because the wolves knew that she was a wolf. I don't know, I can't remember, but now a completely different quote is coming through, which was like, throw me to the wolves, I'll return leading the pack. That one's coming through, and I remember that one, so we'll go with that one. But I just feel like you've tamed a lot of your, if I had tarot here, I feel like the strength card would come out, because with that coming through, throw me to the wolves and I'll return leading the pack, it's like taming the beast, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you've tamed a lot of your shadows and your fears, and I feel like right now it's like you have your shadow, you have your light attributes, they're both together. You know where you've effed up and you know where your negative traits are, but you have control over your shadow instead of your shadow having control over you. And I feel like now you're learning to like have control over your light, in the sense of like being able to navigate them both and really make them work for you, is what I'm being told. You're learning to do that now, because I feel like you've been through a period of shadow work. It feels really taming the shadow so that it doesn't control you, taming your emotions so that they don't control you. But now that you've done that and you've tamed your emotions, it's like you're almost looking in the backpack like, okay, well, what's in here then? What compartments are in here then? What are my emotions? How do I feel in these situations? Like, there's a lot of that going on, and you may be finding yourself feeling a little bit critical, but it's just because these feelings are coming up that are new to you, because you're having your own realization and perception of what things are now, you know. And then we have offerings. Right now is still a very strong time to be focusing on you, but there's something about you giving offerings to your inner child, or like connecting with your inner child, doing a meditation with your inner child, asking your inner child what it needs. What do I need? Because I feel like, again, this is where it's stemming from, the emotional side and not understanding your emotions fully. It's coming from your inner child and your childhood. So there's an essence of you tapping into that and asking your inner child, okay, what do I need? What do I need? How can I nurture you? What do you need? And really giving that to yourself and accepting that, instead of maybe, you know, I feel like sometimes you might bully yourself, not in a bad way, but just in the sense of like, oh, we haven't done enough, we're not good enough, we haven't worked hard enough, or you may be having this difficulty like feeling your own emotions right now, and then it's like, oh my god, why am I effing up? You're not effing up, it's part of the process, and you've done absolutely wonderful, like absolutely wonderful. And even if you wanted to take it a little bit slower, you could, because of how fast you learn things. Like, I feel like even hearing this, you're like, right, okay, I need to talk to my inner child, I need to do this, and Spirit's like, just let it flow. Let it flow, you know. There is no rush. And then we have thunderstorm here as well. See, this is the thing, it's like when we think of like emotions, it's like when we think of emotions that we haven't quite processed yet, or that really trigger us, we think of lightning, we think of thunderstorms, we think of that, we think of tornadoes and all of that. And I feel like you're learning to calm that side of you now, because I'm also being told, and I don't go too far into health and readings, because one, they're general readings, and two, with health, I'm not like a huge expert on things to do with health, so I don't feel qualified to talk on health too much. But there's something about your nervous system, like some of you guys may suffer with anxiety or panic attacks, and it's as a result of like an emotional storm in a way, coming from like childhood. And I'm being told that with you taming these emotions and really understanding your emotions and soothing those emotions and holding space for your own emotions, which you can do perfectly for other people, but you're learning to do for you now, I feel like you'll find that your anxiety attacks and your panic attacks will start to decrease. Because I'm being told like your body sometimes goes into fight or flight, because there wasn't a lot of like calm waters in childhood, and I feel like you'll find soothing that storm within you, panic attacks and stuff will start to decrease. That's something coming through. But you've alchemized so much, like literally alchemized so much. You're like one step closer to who you are at your core, and I just think that right now is a time to really understand your internal world and really settle some storms and really understand your own storms. Do you know what I mean? Like really understand those little compartments and what they mean, and what you really need to feel safe and fulfilled and emotionally fulfilled in this lifetime. And that's something that you're learning right now. So pile one, that is what I had for you. I really hope that this resonated, and I hope you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your spirit guides have for you. Now, as I was opening it up to you guys, I was being shown the Ocean Jasper. So either it's like confirmation if you have Ocean Jasper with you that this reading's yours, but if not, I'm being called for you guys to get Ocean Jasper, because I do feel like it'll be very resonant for you. The Ocean Jasper has the energy of like the ocean, the healing and the calming energies of the ocean, and I feel like it would be really helpful for you guys. So that came through. Another thing that I was shown was the Janae Aiko lyric from her song Limbo Limbo Limbo, and she sings, sailing through the cosmic sea, her celestial frequency was needed to fulfill the prophecy. So I feel like we may be tapping into your psychic gift and Akashic records in this reading, or that may be quite heavy, because there's something very celestial coming through straight away. That's literally coming through. So you guys chose the blue calcite. I'm gonna place this in the corner, and we'll get in with the cards again. Bear with me with the voice. Okay, so pile, I bet you guys don't even see a difference, or you're like, Lex, you literally sound the same. You probably think that. Okay, pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. What message do pile number 2 spirit guides have for them? Do you have a strong like connection with like whales, dolphins, like aquatic animals, like mammals even? Like I just keep being shown like a lot of sea creatures coming through. Maybe my water pile. Yeah, there's like a fascination there too. I don't know why I'm being shown penguins. I'm actually being shown a stuffed penguin, like not a real stuffed penguin, like a stuffed teddy penguin. So if someone has one of those, it's confirmation this is your reading too. Pile number 2. Okay, so we have space clearing. Okay, you actually Okay, so I do see like you guys are opening up psychically, even though I feel like you've always been connected to spirit, but it's almost like another layer being peeled off. You know, when you go through a spiritual awakening and it's like right before a spiritual awakening, you feel like you know everything there is to know and you feel at peace, and then all of a sudden you go through that awakening, or you go through a level of ascension or up leveling, and then all of a sudden the world just seems that bit larger, and there's like a whole other layer that you need to like, that, well, not that you need to do anything to, but like it just becomes readily available to you, and you're like, you get to that point, you just reach that point of like, I know everything, and then you're like, I know nothing. And I just feel like there's this feeling of like a whole other energy opening up to you, an energy readily available for you to like explore in a way. It's like I'm almost being shown you taken to a part of the ocean where like no one's been, and then it being your playground for you to explore. I almost feel like an archaeologist finding something that's been buried for so long, and I'm like now finding it, and I'm like one of the first people to find it. There's something like that happening in your energy. We'll get into it with the cards, but that is something that's coming up straight away, so I want to get that out. So let me get the cards out. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What guidance does pile number 2 spirit guides have for them? We have acceptance. Yeah, I'm hearing Janae again in her song Eternal Sunshine. She sings, the more that I breathe, the more that I know that I don't know anything at all. So there's something like that coming in, like your mind is expanding. It's almost like the life feels larger to you, sort of thing. We have protection. We have earth. One more card, please, spirit guides. One more card. What guidance do my pile number 2s need to hear right now? We have deep sleep as well. What do we have at the back of the deck? We have I'm hearing Just Around the River Bends by Pocahontas. Okay, so I'm being told right now you're actually opening up to, there's a lot of readily energies available right now. Pile 2, there's been a lot of shifts energetically. I don't know if you've been feeling them, but there has been. I know a lot of people are talking about portals being opened and things like that, but there definitely has been a shift. And what I've learned through doing these readings and what Spirit's shown me is that as human beings and collectively, we all maneuver through different timelines, right? We all move up through different timelines, but we all as souls get called to certain timelines to hold a frequency. Mother Gaia may call a collective of souls in the thousands, and they'll all hear this call to really tap into the earth. Or you may have like Lyran's coming through and then sending out a call, and then a collective of energies being taken somewhere to like expand somewhere. Now there's this energy of like High Priestess energy, very similar to the post I did earlier if you guys saw it. So there's like this energy of this High Priestess energy where collectively on earth, like I said, there's a lot of shift, and I just feel like, I was saying about you going, like, I felt like an archaeologist discovering something from long ago, but I'm the first person seeing it. There's an energy that's very much opening up with psychic abilities and ways of living and ways of moving through life in a way that they did back in like Atlantis times, Lemurian times, but that way of being has been forgotten and it's been kind of dormant. And I feel like you guys watching this are part of a collective of souls that are having that activated within them, I'm being told. And by what you're having activated within you, it's funny because it's not really something that you can necessarily pinpoint. It's a way of life and it's an energy. It's like, I'm being told the Lemurian way, like that's what I'm being told. But it's like learning to move through life. I feel like you may not even care too much for pick a card soon, or even at all, even now. You may have just clicked on this on a whim, because there's this feeling of like, I listen to my own internal clock, I listen to my own internal compass, I listen to my heart and I move that way. I'm no longer allowing their how do I explain it? Because we have to have an essence of humanness to navigate, but it's like not letting that humanness constrict us to a way of being. It's like I'm looking through the lens of 5D, I'm looking through the lens of 4D. I'm picking up on things around me. I'm energetically able to read people's, I feel like you're reading people's thoughts right now. Like you may like think of like a song in your head and then someone next to you starts singing it, or you may think of like someone doing something and then it happens, or like psychic premonitions, like you think of something the night before, and then like a friend the night before, and they're like eating like a cheesecake, and then you get a text the next day like from your friend like, want to go to Cheesecake Factory? Like, I don't know, that's just like a little sample, but I just feel like there's a lot of that coming through, and there's just like a whole way of being that you're tapping into, being more connected into your physical body, having this stronger connection to spirit than you've even had before. Channeling light codes a lot more easier. There's something about light codes coming through, like sitting in the sun and just allowing the energies to come through, having visions coming through, and even just having like a new connection to the things around you, like plants around you, crystals around you, like you're seeing them in a completely different lens. Same crystal, same plant, but you've got a fresh set of eyes now, so it's like you're looking at them from a high perspective. So that's all happening, and it almost feels like right now it may be hypersensitive, or you may come to a point over the next couple of weeks where it gets hypersensitive. I keep being shown somebody getting electric shocks, because that does happen sometimes when there's like friction of energy like that, and it could even be that you're watching this and feeling a little bit discombobulated from spirit, a little bit disconnected from spirit, a little bit shut down. It's because you're going through a reboot. I feel like a select few of you guys are going through a reboot to rewire yourself to this new paradigm, whereas I feel like the others of you, you're already opening up to it. And I was saying to my friend Luana the other day, so if you're watching this, because I know she watches my readings, hey girl, I was saying that I was feeling like 2 weeks ago, I was walking around my home and I just felt like it wasn't my home. Like, even though, and you know, I'm a Cancer rising, like I love my home, I love what I have to really ground myself somewhere to feel comfortable there. So it's very rare at home that I will feel scared, you know what I mean, or feel like disconnected. And I was walking around my house and I just felt like it wasn't my house. Like, I was walking through rooms and I was like, this doesn't feel connected to me. And it was because I was being like spirit told me I was being reparted. That's what they said to me. You're being taken out of one part and you're being put in another one, so you can expand, so your roots can expand all the way down and your leaves can expand even higher. And that's basically what's happening for you guys, because I'm literally being shown like another set of the ocean opening up to you, like things are getting bigger. So I feel like that may resonate with you. If you are going through a shutdown, you're being reparted so that you can grow and bear more fruits. That's something that's coming through. And I feel like something like that came through in another reading as well, and I just feel like that's happening for you right now. So you may feel a little bit like, you may even feel like connected to spirit, but like blank canvas or void. And it's just because, like, you know, when you watch a new TV series, like, for example, let's just say Love Island, because I've been watching Love Island, right? So say now you watch a new series and you haven't warmed to the characters yet, so you don't know their personalities. You know, like that first episode, or maybe the first couple of episodes, are pretty boring, because you're like, I don't know who I like, I don't know who I dislike, I don't know who I'm rooting for. It's that's a phase that you're in right now. It's like, oh, I don't really know who I am. I don't really know what I want right now. I don't really know what my desires are right now. And I don't even know what life is right now. I feel like my old way of looking at life it's not even dissolved. It's there. I get it. But I'm ready to expand, but I don't know where I'm expanding to yet. So I'm just waiting. And you may feel like you're in limbo, but Spirit's saying just allow yourself to float. You're very protected in this time for a start. I do want to say super protected. I feel like Spirit are around you very strong, because there's levels of consciousness that are opening up. If you guys don't read people's Akashic records, you may end up doing it later on down the line. If you guys don't read people's past lives, you may end up doing it down the line. You guys are my psychic pile. Like, if you guys don't work for Spirit, you'll end up working for Spirit down the line in that sense. And also I feel like, you know, with Dolores Cannon, when she did hypnotherapy, and she went really like beyond what anyone knew of hypnotherapy, and she was able to tap into the soul before it even incarnated. You guys may even start doing that. I know, like, there's like Dolores Cannon workshops, because some of you guys have told me. Some of you guys may be doing that. All those of you that told me about it, you may be watching, so hey. But there's energies of that coming through, and there's just something expansive that, like, a lot of you guys are opening up to. It's like you've heard the call. I'm hearing this song by Activation Vibration. Her name's Heather, and she has a song called Answer the Call, and she sings, your soul has spoken, answer the call, love has awoken, it's here for us all, like the light wash over, the waters fall, and when you hear the music, answer the call. So it's like you're stepping on to a new timeline where there's a vast opening of crown chakra energy, 5D energy, and it's like it's all coming through, and you're just getting to grips with it right now. So right now, just like make sure that okay, I'm being told for you guys to make sure that your house is as clean as it can be, or your room is as clean as it can be, to make way for new energies to come in. If you have like loads of clothes, because I don't know why I'm being taken to this, if you have loads of clothes, get rid of what you don't use anymore, what you're not going to need, because there's this essence of like making space. If you have like even like tarot decks or stuff that you literally don't use, you don't resonate with, maybe handing them over to other people and, you know, getting rid of them, or books that you've read, you know, it's like, it's time for new knowledge, it's time for new energies, it's time for fresh. And I feel like that freshness right now, you're just feeling a little bit like, some of you guys as well, it's like, I'm not feeling rebooted, like I'm not disconnected, but I'm also like not super connected, but then I also am, but I don't know, but because it's, everything feels, the higher you go up through the realms, the simpler it becomes, but more in depth, but more simple. And it's hard to navigate into that energy. It's like everything seems peaceful, and it feels slower, but it's faster, and it's such a contradiction, and I just feel like you're embodying it. So it's like you're a little bit confused right now, but Spirit's saying like water takes its time to settle, and like plants take their time to settle. Like just like, take your time to settle right now into this new reality, into this new kind of paradigm that you're in, because there's just so much opening up. I keep being shown flowers blooming, like you're really like opening up, you know, like when you have flowers and they have like a row of petals, and then they have another row of petals, and then another, it's like more petals are opening up to expand even bigger, sort of thing. It's like, I don't know if you guys grow like fruits and veg, like for example I grow like tomatoes and strawberries, and they start off as a flower, and then the fruit comes from the flower. So it's like you've been the flower, but now the fruit's coming out, if that makes sense. So it's like another part of the journey. Everything feels very expansive right now, very, very expansive. Very, very expensive. And you may even be wanting to, you may have this thirst for knowledge, like you wanted to learn something deeper. So it could be astrology, it could be again, I'm being taken to hypnotherapy for some reason, water alchemy I'm being taken to, like things that like even in the quote unquote, because I hate to say spiritual community, but I guess it, you know, it is a community, even in the spiritual community, things that aren't really talked about, like I feel like you're expanding there, because there's something like from the past that you're bringing in. It's an energy, but there's also knowledge that was there. I keep being shown the Ankh, so you may be connected to like ancient Egyptian times as well. I'm being taken to like ancient like China as well. I'm really being taken there if you guys have connections there. And I keep being taken to Hinduism as well. Some of you guys may be wanting to learn Vedic astrology. That's another thing coming through. Crystal alchemy is coming through. Herbology. Do you know what? I could sit here and list so many things, but I just feel like it's going to be different for all of you. And I honestly, there's something about as well, like some of you guys have a gift where you can speak with animals. You know, when people can talk to animals and take on their energy and like let you know how they're feeling. Some of you guys have that gift. That may be opening up to you, and it doesn't even have to be like so celestial, although I feel like a lot of you guys it might be. There's something like that coming through of like how to explain it, I'm being taken to like prophecies, writing prophecies down. You must have, I feel like if you are drawn to like, you have premonitions and then you write them down, you may have done that in past lives. Because I'm being shown somebody having a prophecy, very much like Rumi, like, okay, I have a prophecy, I'm writing it down. Nostradamus is another one, like, okay, I have this prophecy, or I have this idea, or I have this thing in my head, I'm going to write it down. And if you are, get it out when you're ready, because I feel like your words and what you channel has a certain essence of activation. This is the thing, when we channel, there is a seed in that, and it's not a physical seed, it's a metaphysical seed. It's an activation, and the people that need to hear the message that you're channeling, it activates within them, and it allows more flowers to bloom and grow too. So I feel like you're being called collectively to plant seeds with a level of mastery that you've obtained within like a soul level, and whatever it is that you have that mastery within, you're following your intuition to guide you to that piece of mastery. It could even just be tarot, could be runes, could be anything. And I feel like there's a seed in there that you have within you that you're going to project into it or pass on into it. It's going to hit other people and activate the other people to have that happen for them, and then they're going to activate other people, and before you know it, we're in like a completely different vibration collectively, because it trickled down just from that one seed within you. You know what I mean? Because one seed goes a long way, and that's what I'm being told. So like right now, just like follow your intuition. Right now is a very dreamy time, a very like, you may be having a lot of 12th house transits. Like right now is a very intuitive time. It's a very like Alice going down the Wonderland. But you know what? It's not even like, because Alice was a bit distressed going down the Wonderland, and I don't even feel like it's that. It's more so, do we even have a movie for someone just being very peaceful, going into the ocean and discovering things? Do we have a movie for that? It's like Bridge to Terabithia. It's like Avatar, but without the, well, yeah, it's kind of like Avatar. Shock that I talk about Avatar on this channel, because I talk about it a lot. What other movies do we have? It's like Peter Pan going to Neverland. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like that. It's like you're learning things. It's expansive, and it's, yeah, it's fun. Some of you guys are going to be connecting with the Fae. I see the Fae coming through strongly. Goddess Isis is coming through strongly. Dhanishta is coming through strongly. You may be called to study certain religions to really get the true essence of them, because some religions have been watered down and kind of like rinsed out for their own truth, whereas some of you guys may be being called to go back to the seed, you know, like the story of Yeshua, and like going right all the way back and being like, okay, what was the truth here? What can I gain from this? Like, what was the truth here? I see some of you guys doing that. So we have Ivy. Pile number 2. Some of you guys, I feel as well, like old ancient, like the hieroglyphs and like old ancient like writings that like have never been translated. I'm seeing you guys like looking at it and channeling to translate it, which is really cool. Even like crop circles and like weird imagery that hasn't been explained. Like I see some of you guys going online typing in like Stonehenge, typing in like Egyptian pyramids, typing in like the Bermuda Triangle, like things that are conspiracies, sitting there with a pen and paper and going, right, let's see what comes through, channeling and going, this is what this meant, this is what this meant, this is what this meant, okay, and really like bringing back those memories from the Akashic records, like that's what that was, okay. Whereas like in our current reality, it's like it's a mystery, but it's like you're cracking codes because you remember, you know. So there's something about that coming through too. So even if you're going through a bit of a conspiracy route, that's fine, because I feel like there's something about seeing truth and really realizing something with a deeper set of eyes. I see you guys doing that. We have You Are Sacred as well. I'm gonna lay the cards and then I'll channel. Pile number 2, please, Spirit Guides. Medicine Woman. Some of you guys may be learning to like heal the gut, connect with foods, eating to heal. Yeah. One more card. What do we have? We have the Seer, of course, because you're looking at things with a fresh set of eyes. Something's being activated within you to be able to see things differently, because it's like you're being wired up to a different paradigm that you would have walked before. You're just settling into it. What do we have at the back of the deck? We have the Mountain. Love that. You know when like Tafiti like awakens and she's like raging one, she has her heart back, and then she brings like you know, nature back to life. It's like there's something you're bringing back to life, like something literally like that. Yeah, there's an activation going on within you that's activating other people, because other people will benefit from it. Why do we have You Are Sacred? Yeah, you're tapping into your own sacred knowledge too, understanding, you know, the essence of your own physical body, understanding the essence of your own energy, like understanding like how connected you really are, because, you know, we can be modest, and that's fine to be modest. It's okay to be humble if you want to be humble, but at the end of the day, when you're good at something and Spirit's like literally putting you somewhere to plant a seed, you're allowed to say that you're good at it, and you're allowed to acknowledge, like, you know what, I'm good at that. You know what I mean? I'm pretty good at that. For example, like I used to downplay myself a lot, whereas I can say wholeheartedly, I'm a pretty good channeler. Like I'm good at channeling energies. It's something that I've mastered. I'm not going to downplay it when I've worked lifetimes to become as good of a channeler as I am today. And there's something that you're like super good at, and I see you stepping into it like, you know, I'm really good at it. Runes, ace that, done that. I know how to read runes. I know how to see beyond the physical. I know how to do that because I'm good at it. I've mastered it. I'm not going to play small. I've mastered it, and it's what I'm here to do. And I see you guys stepping into that and being like, no, it's what I'm here to do. With the medicine woman as well and Sia, I just feel like the earth right now, it's like the way we, how to explain it? We look at everything in a way that there's so many filters over the way we look at life. We always look at life through a high perspective, but we're taught to look at it through filters of the ego. And when we go through an ego death, one of those filters dissolves. And I feel like so many filters have dissolved for you. You're looking at life in a true essence. It's like, it's no longer birds just flying in the sky. It's no longer spiders just making their web. You really feel and see why they're here, not just physically and for humanity's gain, which is a way a lot of people look at life for humanity's gain. You look at it beyond that, and even more so now. And I just feel like there's so much vastness that's coming. Your mind's broadening, and right now you're just being called to literally flow like the water and listen to your heart more so, because your heart is a compass. You're learning that your own inner, even, do you know what I'm hearing as well with the internal clock, like your own inner internal clock? You may be like, if you guys are working for yourself, you may be finding like your routine's going to shift up soon, because there's this feeling of like, I don't want to wake up at 7 and go to bed at, 10 o'clock. I love the nighttime because I channel best when the moon's out. I channel best when I can see the stars. I can cosmically channel that way. So I'd like to spend more time when the moon's out, really. So I'm going to spend time when I'm outside. And maybe channel and do my work when I'm outside at night, and then I might sleep a little bit through the day. Or some of you guys may be thinking, you know what, I want to wake up really early, because when I get that first blink of sunrise, that's when I'm able to really ground into my being and get a lot of light codes. So I'm going to start waking up at like 4 a.m. to do that, and your whole internal body clock is changing to accommodate your own soul and what works best for your own soul. So don't push against that. Do what feels right for you. If you can, obviously, I know like some people, they still be in like physical jobs and things like that. So just do what you can around the schedule that you have. But I'm also being told as well, just like your own internal compass, like things may not look possible from the physical eye, but the heart knows the way. Let your heart lead, like Rumi said, follow your heart, it knows the way. Like it really is the compass. And I feel like you're going to be navigating through life like that. And even it came through in another reading the other day, like some of you guys may be not even wanting to look at the weather, because it's like I'm outside and I can already feel by the feeling of the air that it's going to be a sunny day. Or looking at the sky, it's like, well, the sun's there and the clouds are doing this, which means that we're going to have a day that's quite cloudy. Or just putting your feet in the soil and going, okay, the soil feels like this. And I feel like little things are just going to start coming to you like that. Or like listening to the bird. It's almost like, I think you did this in past lives, some of you, like birds tweeting, like they have their own little songs. It's like, okay, the birds are tweeting this song, so we're here, but I know that there's a bunch of like, let's just say jackdaws down the bottom. Like there's a bunch of those birds down the bottom, and they sing like that. So I know I can hear that song. So I know I'm like near the entrance of the woods. So I'm gonna like follow that song and let it lead the way for me, because they're like channeling. It's like their tweets are like their own song. It's like used as a map for you. Like I feel like you may not even want to be on your phone as much. There's almost a feeling as well of like, I don't even want to look at the time. I don't want to look at the time. Like there's an essence of that coming through, because it doesn't feel tied to a 3D construct anymore. And Spirit's saying like, you have that time from your root to the ground, so you're grounded. Allow this new essence of life to like come in and see what comes through for you. It's going to be a really expansive, fun time for you, I'm being told. So yeah, pile 2, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So you guys chose the black tourmaline. I'm going to place that up in the corner and we're going to get straight in. I'm going to start with these cards and then we'll move into your oracle cards. So Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 3s. What do the Spirit Guides need them to know right now? What message do my pile number 3s? I'm hearing Janae Aiko's song, Define Me. She says, rising despite your denying, you cannot define me. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. We have safe travel. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3, we have feminine energy, Venus. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3. Your card just fell on the floor, 2 seconds. Oh, it's hot today. We have a space clearing. Okay. 2 more cards. I feel like you've dealt with a lot of people really feeling like envy towards you. We'll see why in a second, like what it was. But I just feel like there's been like people around you that haven't had your best interest at heart in the past. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. What do my pile 3s need to hear? We have calling upon ancestors and loved ones. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. What do my pile number 3s need to hear? We have deep sleep as well. Okay, I feel like you've been on a journey to really lose yourself and find yourself. We have hitting your target at the back of the deck. I really do feel like you've been on a journey of losing yourself to finding yourself and really giving your power away to call your power back. And I feel like a lot of the, you know, shadow work and healing work that you've done recently, I'm being told, was really to do with like where you were giving your power away and like where you feel people got the better of you or got the best of you. Because I do feel like it doesn't feel, maybe it was childhood, it feels more like teen years, early 20s, early 30s. Like I just feel like there was a time period where you settled for some people's like shitty behavior. I'm gonna say it, like I just feel like there was a time where you weren't fully aware of your worth. I don't feel like it's now. I feel like you really are knowing your worth, but there was a time where you didn't, and I feel like some people really took advantage of that. And I feel like some people took a look at where you may have had blind spots or a look where there was vulnerabilities within you, and I feel like people took people that didn't have your best interest at heart would poke those insecurities or poke those parts of you where you weren't fully developed yet, or where you were still feeling insecure, or where you had like a weakness in your own energy. You didn't have control over that yet. And I feel like there's certain people that did envy you or maybe wanted to keep you around because they liked your energy, that would really benefit from you not knowing yourself fully yet, or you not understanding yourself fully yet. And I feel like there was a moment in time, Path 3, where there was a snapback. And what I mean by that is, you know, like an elastic band where you pull it and then it just snaps back. I feel like there was a moment where you did that, and you may have like cut a bunch of people off, you may have like stepped away from a lot of people, or you may have just talked your shit to people and said, you know what, no, and really given that energy back. And I feel like there's been a lot of like, I feel like then there may have been a lot of projection onto you, or a lot of butthurtness, like, oh my god, that person's mean, or that person's this, or that person's that. Like I feel like you have had to deal with that, of people maybe projecting onto you because you were no longer making yourself small to make them feel comfortable, dimming your light to let them shine, keeping quiet when they were disrespecting you. Like I feel like you started to really like snap back or push away or just completely like disassociate from certain people. And I feel like you've done that, so I feel like in ways you've been villainized. And I think the thing is about you, Path 3, is that you're very empathic, and the thing is you do have a very beautiful heart and you do love people, and I feel like it still pains you or hurts you in ways that people would have that negative perception of you, or people would be hurt by certain actions, and you may even like feel guilt of having to step away from people. But let me tell you, that just shows your heart and how beautiful your heart is, pile number 3, because I want to tell you something. Spirit sees what we don't see in the physical, and I feel like you either had premonitions of certain friends or connections, or there was a lot of divine interventions that had you step away from certain friends or connections. Spirit sees what you don't see. So once a certain lesson had been learned to a point where it was like you were able to learn enough, I feel feel like there was an essence of like people were pulled away from you, or you really felt this urge to cut off from people and you listened to it. And that was spirit very much making sure that certain people that were pulling on you, or really like maybe envy, evil eye, they were being removed from you. Because I feel like there was a point where you almost felt like you were on your back in a way, where people would just taken from you. And I feel like there was an essence of divine intervention where spirit were like, okay, they've learned the lesson enough to be able to learn. Let's snap back and pull these people away, because we don't want it to go any further. It doesn't need to go any further. And you may have even called out to spirit like, help me, why is this happening, help me. Because I do feel like they almost came through to show you or navigate you away, like show you people's true colors, or again, psychic dreams or visions, or planted seeds of information where you would find out what people were really like. Like spirit were really planting seeds to show you things, I feel. These people were there as a lesson, in the sense to teach you to know your worth and to not give your power away. And now that you currently, because I'm feeling it from your energy right now, you're stepping back into your power, you're understanding your power, you're looking at parts where you gave away your power, and maybe you're thinking back to old friends, and maybe you're thinking back to old friendships, old relationships, old family member connections, whatever you want to call it, and you're going, that person really hurt me. I can't believe that person had that perception of me, because that wasn't me. I can't believe that person treated me like that. I can't believe that person did me like that. Or even feeling maybe guilty for the way that you stepped away from connections. And I'm being told it's coming out for you to release it, for you to purge it out. But what I'm being told is the reason that you're still thinking of certain people or certain energies is there's a fragmentation of your energy there. Not in the sense that there's unfinished business, not in the sense that you need to bring them back into your life and be all hunky-dory with them. No, it's coming through as a splinter. You're still going back there because there's an essence of you there. So there's a part of your soul that still feels like you gave your power away, and you still feel like that power is still in their hands, or you still feel like they have the upper hand in being able to project onto you and make a story up about you, and it would affect you. Or you may still feel like it's like you're wanting something back, but what you're wanting back is your own self, your own power. But that's already within you. And I'm being called for you guys, whenever you get a moment, to really sit in your own energy, whether it's out in nature, in the bath, at home. I would say maybe out of the bath for this, because you're going to be meditating. Get into a meditative state and really go back to a time period that you keep thinking about, and whoever this connection is, call their higher self in, or call spirit to navigate with their higher self and really show you where that wound is. And whatever it is, whatever feeling you still have towards them, even if it's like a feeling that you feel it's a little bit of hatred or anger, whatever, allow yourself to feel that and say it out loud to their higher self. Allow yourself to feel that and say it out loud, even if you've got to scream and shout and be like, F you for treating me like this. Allow yourself to say it, because once that feeling's come out, no matter how much you're screaming and crying, whatever, once that feeling's come out, it's out, and it'll just be able to infiltrate away, and you'll find that you're no longer thinking back to that person or thinking back to that situation, because there's just a tiny splinter or fragment that's there. And it's more so to do with like I just hear defamation of character, so I don't know if someone's tried to control the narrative of you. And I think it's coming from as well, I feel like you at times have dealt with people that when you have spoke boundaries or have tapped into your power, you've had people gaslight you and manipulate you into thinking that you were doing the wrong thing. And that may come from childhood. That may have happened to you in childhood. And you may have learned, like, you know, like the good girl thing or the good boy thing, where it's like, I've got to be a good child, I've got to be a good person, that way I am worthy, that way people will like me, that way what's the word, like I've done the right thing, like I have to get approval by being what they need me to be. And I feel like you would maybe act the way other people wanted you to act, maybe for their approval, but it was subconscious. You didn't realize you were doing it because you wanted people to like you, because who doesn't want anyone to not like them, like, you know what I mean? I feel like you did that and it was learned from childhood. And then I feel like you're coming into a time now where you're like, as long as I like me and I know my heart and I know I have pure intentions, I do not care what other people are projecting onto me. I don't care what other people are saying to me. That's their reality. And if they want to look at life in a negative lens like that, they can. I know my likes. I know my light attributes, and I know my dark attributes, and I know both, and I know where I F up, and I'm not going to be controlled by someone else's narrative, or I'm not going to be controlled by a projection that someone else is placing onto me. I'm not going to do that anymore. As long as I know my heart and I move that way, I don't need to explain anything to anyone, and I said what I said. Other people can create whatever perception they need of that then. And I feel like that's something that you're learning, and that's something that this experience with this person is teaching you. And I feel like it's coming up to the surface for you to deal with it, because I feel like you may have given your power away whenever this person was in your life, of like, I'll do whatever you need me to do just to keep the peace, or I'll do whatever you need me to do to... They may have mimicked a parent, because there's this essence of like, if I don't do what you want me to do, you're going to kick off. You're going to scream, you're going to make life hard for me, and I want to make life easy for me, so I'm going to do it. Whereas it's like, now you're like, no, I don't care, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm not controlled by anyone else, and if someone doesn't respect my boundaries, they can go kick and scream, call me what you need to, I don't care. I'll be difficult, I'll be the bad person if you want me to be. I don't mind. I am me, you know? Because I feel like there's someone that's tried to make it out like you didn't like them or you were mean to them, and it's almost like they're projecting their own insecurities onto you. And I feel like there's a feeling of thinking back to it and going, was I in the wrong? And it's up to you to decide. I can't even tell if you were in the wrong or not. It's up to you to decide whether you were in the wrong. But I'm just being told that a lot of people have projected onto you when you've not acted the way that they wanted you to, because the old you would have done what you were told, but you're breaking out of that conditioning, and it's like they're not liking that new version of you. But you're not here to be liked, you're here to be authentic. And that's something that you're learning. So this connection you're thinking back to, the reason you're thinking back to it, the reason there's a splinter there, it's showing you, hey, there's still an emotion here. Not because of the person, not because they have power over you, but because your inner child and your inner self's like, hey, we haven't learned to transmute this emotion yet. So let's keep poking here and keep thinking back to this person until we realize how they made us feel, so we can transmute it and we can say F this and stand in our own true power. And that's why you're thinking back to that person. It's not about them. It's always been about you. And I don't mean like life's about you, F everyone else. I mean like that lesson was for you to learn to become the best version of yourself. That's what I'm being told. Fully. Yeah, 100%. Because I feel like you're moving into this new phase, and it's like that piece of baggage it's like you've got a splinter in your foot, but that splinter can't stay in your foot if you want to keep walking up that path, because it's going to hurt. So it's like you need to pull it out, and the reason it's hurting, it's there for you to pull it out so you can walk easier with a clearer path. You know what I mean? Otherwise it's going to keep sticking in more and more and hurt more and more. So you're feeling it so it can come out. It feels almost like a friend that would have put you down, tried to belittle you in ways. Why did they do it though? Because I feel like you may benefit from knowing why they did it. Can I pull 3 cards? Why did pile number 3's person that's coming up, why did they treat pile 3 the way that they did? I do feel like there was a level of jealousy, and I know a lot of people say, oh, they're jealous, but I do feel there was a level of jealousy. I'll get into it now. We have Earth. I'm just going to lay these cards so I can see why they treated you the way that they did, because I'm hearing it may help. Why did pile number 3's person treat them the way that they did? They were very manipulative, I'm being told. We have Release. Why did pile number 3's person treat them the way that they did, Spirit Guides? We have Strength. A tree cannot bear its fruits if it's hacked off at the root, because there's no energy supply from the root and the soil, and the tree withers up, and like the releasing of the petals, it falls away. So it's like, I feel like you had a person in your life that enjoyed the energy that you gave off, but at the same time was envious of the supply you were given too. It's like, I like this energy, but I'm also envious of it too. So it was like a double-edged sword, and I feel like they were conflicted in their own energies, and they felt like the more they could axe you, keep you small, make you insecure, your tree would wither up and not bear fruits. And by that point, they thought that by doing that, it would make their tree grow bigger and grow fruits. And I feel like that was their way of control, and it was like a level of control sort of thing. I hope that makes sense. Because with the Earth card here, it's like, I just feel like, see, this is the thing, and I'm looking at the greenery of the tree. It's like, when we look at the greenery here, it's like, with the plants that are growing on Earth and the supply there, like one seed, and I said this to pile 2 or pile 1, one tiny seed can activate so much and bear fruits for so many people, and different fruits. And I feel like you had a lot of fruits growing on your tree. You had a lot of potential. You had a lot of you had a very expansive energy. Maybe you wore a lot of hats. Maybe you were someone that was very sweet and kind, but then you were also quite street smart. Maybe you were someone that was very funny, but then you were also very intelligent. Like, whatever the case, there's something that you had that was like very multidimensional, and I feel like this person felt like they lacked in it. So it's like, I'm going to hack this off at the root to gain the power of it, so I can then use... Do you get what I mean? I can take those seeds, put them in my tree, and then I can grow my tree, and then they'll just kind of like wither away, which is weird because they were almost pulling on that light. I feel like they were an energy vampire. I feel like when you were around them, you got very drained. The back of the deck, we have calm as well. I feel like as well, you've always at least expressed yourself in a way where you were very confident in yourself, or you were very happy-go-lucky, or very just happy with life. And I feel like you didn't want for much, and I feel like this person didn't have that within, and I feel like they envied the way that you looked at life. You may not think that, you may think I wasn't confident, but they thought you were confident. So it's almost like, I'm going to knock this person down a peg or 2, which I don't even feel like you were like the most super confident person ever. I just think that you just saw the light in a lot of things, and I feel like they didn't. So it's like, it almost triggered them in ways. So it's like, I'm gonna hack the tree down sort of thing. I wouldn't feel bad about stepping away from this person, and this is me saying it. I do believe forgiveness is key. However, as a human being, I would say, like, I would want you, because I'm protective of you guys, away. You know what I mean? And then you can forgive on a higher lens then, do you know what I mean? In like a 5D level, like, I forgive you on a soul level, but I just feel right now there's a feeling, and I feel like I need you to understand this person's motives, because I feel like you're beating yourself up over someone that does know that they're in the wrong. I feel protective of you in that sense, because you're still feeling upset a bit about the way you moved, whereas this person does not feel upset about the way that they moved at all. And I feel like I want to like express that to you, so you know that, so that you can really feel those emotions and not guilt yourself from feeling them, and then you can move into that energy, like Spirit say, of forgiveness and finding that peace. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like you're beating yourself up over something that they're not, you know, and you have such a beautiful heart. I feel like I just want to come in and like give you a hug sort of thing. Like, that's how I feel. And of course we forgive. And I do see like down the line as well, I see you reaching like a full, because you have such a beautiful heart, and I'm seeing it as well. Like, I see you looking at this person and being like, wow, you taught me so much. And this person did teach you a lot. And I feel like on a higher level, on a higher self level, there's this beautiful energy of like both of you. I wouldn't say soul family, but I feel like there's a beautiful energy coexisting with the two of you, where it's like, wow, we really taught each other these lessons. And there's a lot of love there. But don't feel guilty for certain feelings of like, you hurt me, etc., coming up, because they need to be felt in order to reach that level of forgiveness, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's a message coming through really strongly. So let's pull some oracle cards. You were super protected from this person. I feel very super protected. I don't feel like you have like a lot of ancestors around you, and I don't think they were very happy with this person being around you, but it was like you needed to learn a certain lesson. Feels like a friendship or a family member. We have Medicine Woman. Pile number prophetic dreams. See, I feel like you guys had psychic dreams. I feel like you had prophetic dreams strongly. We have the Ancients. Yeah, you are really... I think that's something that this person felt a little bit jealous of too, is more so like your heart, in the sense of I feel like you didn't need a lot to make you happy, and I feel like you had a lot of love for people, whereas I feel like this person wasn't able to tap into that in their earlier life. So it's like they're looking at life in a more negative way, in a competition way. I don't feel like they had a parent around them that was very they didn't have a parent around them that was very nurturing and loving like that. They had a parent that maybe had them maybe become an overachiever, or someone that looked for the negative. Maybe their parent pitted them against things, or told them like, you've got to be better than everybody else, or you've got to be this, you've got to be that. And I feel like you then not wanting for anything and just being peaceful in your own energy, it's almost like they never got to have that, so they were almost envious of it. I don't think they ever got to tap into their inner child, whereas I feel like you fully quite embody your inner child in that way. You may have a lot of 5th house placements, and they were almost like there's this feeling of but not in the sense of it's like they feel that way because it's triggering them, because they didn't get to feel it. They never got to have those feelings. They never were able to feel vulnerability or let their guard down because of a parent like really like they never got the chance to. That's what I'm being told. They only knew how to be quite I feel like their parent would have been quite spiteful, or whoever raised them would have been quite spiteful in a way, and taught them ways like that, because they don't look at the world in a very hearty lens. They're not very empathetic. That's it. They're not very empathetic. Oh, you've got 2 cards. Come out. What do we have? I hate when they spin around, like spin the bottle. We have Ivy. And we have the Seer. I'll put them together like this. Yeah, we have the Seer. I feel like even intuitively you did know this person's game, but I just feel like, again, you saw the light in them, sort of thing. You saw that light. And maybe you just didn't know yourself in this, and so you didn't have a lot of boundaries at the time. So it was like you allowed certain energies to happen, even though you were peeping it. But then I feel like it got to a point where Spirit was like, no, this is really happening, this is really happening. And whether you saw it intuitively and psychically, or whether Spirit planted seeds of things to be shown to you in the physical world, you saw, you know what I mean? And I feel like this person almost felt like they were 10 steps ahead, or they were winning at chess, and then you came through and like, they almost felt like, you know when you play a card game and then you're like bluffing? They almost took your like bluffing or your quietness, or maybe what you saw, as you being slimy or sly. And I don't think you were doing that. It was just a case of like, nope, I'm just collecting and I'm putting it all in the savings in my brain, and then when I can use this information, or when I have enough information here to step away, then I will. Like, I feel like it was like that. Like, this person mistook your intuition and your very psychic way of doing things as you being sly. And I don't think you were doing that, but it's like they can't comprehend it that way. So it's like, oh, this person's sly. I don't think you were being sly. I think that you were being very, it was a mixture of your beautiful heart staying around to see the light and hoping they change, but also being aware of all the little things that they were doing and like holding it in their brain and having these intuitive nudges. Because I feel like there's stuff that they did as well behind the scenes that I feel like you know about. They're either like, how did they know about it? Or they're like, oh my God, do they know about this? Oh my God, do they know about that? Do they know about it? Because this person actually does feel guilt, I'm being told. And this person does know where they effed up. But it's like, it's not even, I feel like this person does play a bit of games. I'm not going to lie. This person is not coming through to show remorse right now. At all. I feel like this person still sees life as a game. Life's a game to them, I'm being told. Yeah, that's what I'm being told. Life's a game. And I think that's why they get annoyed, because they have to play hard at the game. But it's a game they're creating for themselves. Whereas you're not even playing no game, but they almost feel like you're always 10 steps ahead, and it annoys them. But the reason that you're 10 steps ahead is because you're not playing a game. You're just doing you. And if they were doing them, they'd be able to be 10 steps ahead too. Do you get what I mean? But it's like, because it's a game that they're playing, they're losing at their own game because no one else is playing the race. Yeah, I feel like you needed to hear this today, because normally I wouldn't waste time on reading them, but it's coming through, so I almost feel like you needed to hear this. Yeah, I feel like you needed to hear that. We have the mountain at the the back of the deck. And this always reminds me of Moana with Tafiti when she had her hat taken away, and then everyone was calling her a demon, and everyone was calling her like this war god, when really she was this beautiful, magnificent creature that looked exactly like this, that was like in charge of nature. And the minute she had her hat back, she had her power back, she was able to sleep peacefully again and go back into her rightful place. But because her heart was taken away by people that were being greedy, she ended up turning into this whole war goddess and was like sprouting lava through her mouth and hands. But then when she had it back, she came back to her essence. And I feel like you're on this process of coming back to your own essence and putting that power back in your hands, because I feel like this person has tried to get reactions out of you that you just haven't had. And I feel like this person's almost like looked for clues in which maybe you're not doing well or you're struggling, and they haven't found them. And I feel like if you've seen them, they may have even tried to bait you. And I just feel like you're here now and you're really stepping into a time where you're just like, yep, you're projecting over onto me. It's literally hitting my ankles. It's literally doing nothing at all to me at all. I am not playing these games. I'm not in your race and I'm not in your games. I have no intention of doing it either. I'm in my own lane. I know that's what you feared because you like to control me, but my tree is ever growing, you know. And yeah, I just feel like your axe is too small to thing down this tree now, and I feel like they wanted to control the seeds, and I feel like it's not working. And the reason you're thinking back is because you're stepping back into your power. But you have a very beautiful heart, and I hope the explanation of their energy gives you some clarity in order for you to heal this. I hope it does, because right in the middle, look what we have. You have a very beautiful heart. Look at that. Very beautiful heart. So pile 3, I really hope this resonated for you. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next videos. Thank you guys for watching.